Hello everyone and welcome back to tutorial, I believe it is 6. I believe it's tutorial 6 on YouTube, or if you're following it via the forums, it'll be tutorial 1.5. The only reason for that is obviously on YouTube I'll be separating each of the blocks of the tutorials up into main topics. So this is obviously building, so it'd be going into its own series, its own playlist, whereas the other ones, for example, might do vehicles, might do weaponry, something like that would go into its own. Whereas on the forum you will find that there'll be tutorial 1.0. This is actually tutorial 1.5, so I believe it's, as I say, part 6.
Now give me the beat.
So today's episode is going to be more on looking at some detail, finishing off the kind of front of it, the front of the building, working out what we can kind of add to it, what might look good, things like that, because obviously at the moment we can kind of see that it's not the biggest thing in the world. So I've also done something here to kind of demonstrate how it looks with the shadows, things like that. Obviously for when we come to bake it, you'll also see that when we just select that. Yeah, so when we are looking around the shape, you see it kind of blanks out, and then it will, if we hold it there for a second, it will render it in. This is using a skylight and letting the program render it, rendering shadows from the skylight. So if I zoom out a bit or move up, you'll see here we have a skylight, which you can move at multiple angles. Up here it's called Sky 1. So how we add one of those, we would go into the top view with T like this. You can see it's placed there, and by clicking up here on the what we like to call it the sun or create, going over to lights, and then on the drop down menu selecting standard, you'll see that there's one here called skylight. Click it, and then all we want to do is go into front view and just move it above the shape. It's as I say, it's a skylight, so simulating light's obviously going to come from a building. It's going to come from above because of the sunlight. Something else you might want to do from a different angle, but obviously for a building we'll leave it as it is. So what we can do is we can kind of get rid of it by going on to shaded. Then we don't have to look at it won't render it in. However far we move it around, we won't lose the render, what have you. So we can press F4 again. We can go back into our edged view, and kind of we can press W. One second here. There we go. Press D if that comes up. We don't need the extras. And we can press S for the snapping tool. So S is to snap, and D brings up that as well, which is not what we need. Okay, so today, we have the windows. Obviously the upstairs windows I'm going to be showing kind of like a reflection RV map, because it's not going to be like a non-accessible area. The downstairs part is obviously going to be somewhere that you can access, so we kind of leave it as it is. So at the moment what I'm kind of thinking is, if we count this in meters, because we're obviously going to go by the door being 1 meter wide by 2 meters tall, it's just kind of like a variable kind of set distance. A European door is 6'6", so I don't really know exactly what it is in meters, but it's around 2 meters, and it is around 1 meter wide. So you can't really go wrong with that kind of set distance. It can be a little bit off, a little bit on, and also we've also got the 2, so it'd be 2 by 2 gap. So you're always going to get a character through there, and this is the same for any game really, depending on whether you're modelling this for Arma or another game. So I mean, it doesn't really matter how you're doing it. Okay, so now we know that this door is these doors spacing is 2 meters wide. We can see the windows are 1 meter wide. We can work out this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 meters. It's 18 meters wide by a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10 and a half, 10 to 11 meters deep. So it's actually got quite a lot of space. But when you think about it, what we have here isn't a lot of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 by 7. So it's going to be end up being quite a small room in there. So again, we kind of have to work out. You kind of have to work out what you would do with it. But what I'm actually going to be doing is, now I've shown you this style, this building, we're actually going to be making another one. The only reason is, the one we've got, it's more of a building, as I say, so being able to show how you can change something on it is going to be a bit difficult, like certain improvements. So we're going to save that one. We're just going to create a new one, Control N, and quite simply we're going to press F. Going to go to create, go on cylinder, and at any point we're just going to draw ourselves a cylinder and get rid of that. Oops. Alright, let's draw it again. Remember to give it some height on it. Press G to get rid of grid. Right, so we don't need the height segments, they're not needed. Or they might be, but we'll come back to that. Sides. We're going to want a decent amount of sides for this, so when we can decide on a decent shape. Because don't forget, this is going to, well, for what you don't know yet, this is going to be the main body of the building, so to get a decent amount of sides on it's going to be useful. 75 looks like a good number. Alright, so what we're going to be wanting to do is we're going to leave it at that. We're going to do create editable poly. We're going to go into the we're going to go into vertex. We're going to delete all of the bottom half by pressing delete. This is what it leaves us with at the moment. Just a dome. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo it quickly. We're going to do the same as we did with the windows. Going to inset it slightly by, let's go with 10 or maybe 20. Uh, 20 is a good number. You'll see why. Hit delete again, and now you'll see that you actually have the whole shelved, indent. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just bridge it. Best way to do this is just by going to the front view, drag, bridge, and we just go through and do all this. What we're actually going to be building this time round is a hanger. This is just so that we can kind of start using a few more shapes, a few more bits of detail on it. Things like a door, whatever else you might have with it. So something I just decided to go with here. So when you've bridged them all through, there we go. So obviously we can go ahead by using the front view, because it's allowing us to just select all in that view, and obviously we've only got two depth sides to this shape at the moment. So it's quite a long process going through, but it'll be worth it, because a lot of this would just be mirroring, copying, etc. So also the other reason is that we're now going to start using a few extra tools to help us out with our hanger. Bridge that. We're nearly done now, getting around. Bridge that. And as you keep going around, you might start getting quicker as well. So bridge, and obviously make sure you don't select too many. Oops. If you do, you can just deselect them or just click off and start again. Bridge, and bridge. There we go, and we can just double check it, and you'll see there we go. We have this whole nice dome shape. So if we go to side with L for left, we're going to select them and just double check that that's the, okay, so that's the front. So press W again. We're going to go from this side because it's obviously going to go from the left face. So here's the front. going to be moving it that way. Press G, and we're going to go back to, if we zoom in, we're going to go back to this line here. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to decide how big we want this to be, and we're going to just estimate, and we're going to go with, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to go with about there. And we're going to go and press this one. Press A. And we're going to bring it in a lot. We don't need it to be anywhere near that tall. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meters high. That's a good height, and you'll have noticed that I accidentally deleted one too many, or sorry, I did one too many shapes here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fix that by just extruding a tiny amount, doing that there, selecting these points and bringing them round here. So it's only because we did it slightly wrong, added a uneven shape, and then we're actually going to drag these down a bit. We're also going to make them on the same plane by pressing make planar, make Y, so we're going to put them on the Y axis. So it's obviously up, we're going to make them level. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 meters tall. Yeah, I guess that kind of works. It's a bit curved. Not my best thing. So what I'm going to do, select those points and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's still 8, but it's a bit more like a loaf of bread now. But it's starting to look cool. So now, once again, we're going to go to the left view, and we're going to bring it out until it's of a decent size that we like, and just count up again. Okay, so we'll quickly drag this out so it's level with the line. Just makes it easier to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's go with 15, which was here, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One less. There we go. So now we've got this. So what can we do with it? Well, we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to press 2. We're going to go press L again. We're going to make sure all of these are selected. And we're going to add a hell of a lot of polys. We're on 150. We are going to connect. And let's go with 6. Oh, a bit of a whistle there. Let's go with 6, and we're going to make them 1.5. And then what we can also do, we can press L. We can select that face. Select that face. We can do slice plane, and we can click slice. Move it over to this side. We can click slice again. So there was 2 different ways of cutting into an object. We've got the connecting of edges. So basically what that does is it takes one edge, say this edge, would take this edge and this edge. If we were to click connect now, it would connect those edges up the amount of times segments, pinch them together or slide them. So there's different ways you can do that. If I did these 2 here, it would connect them up 6 times or that many times or once. So it's quite a useful tool. The other one is to select a face and use the slice tool. There are a few other ways, but we'll get through with them. Right, so now we're going to hold down control, press shift, hold down control, press shift, and again, and again, and again, and again. Oops. Hold down alt, control shift click. There we go. Okay. So we've got a few things we need to get rid of here. So if we go to the front view, we can see the inside's also selected. So we're going to press alt, draw box, and just go through, just make sure you don't deselect any of the outside, and just unselect the inside. There we go. We're nearly getting there, and we'll be able to add a few bars. Because there we go, now we are definitely looking on the outside. We're going to click extrude. So you can see now it's going by groups. It's extruding it by a group, and that every single thing is being moved in the same direction. If we put it by polygon, every single piece is going to be extruding out, so it looks a bit like a broken pineapple. If we do it by local normal, it's going to keep it at a normal distance and bring them out, which is what we want. We don't want it out by that far though. We only want a small small outdent there. But we're going to go with 1.5. This could be anything, this building. It could be a dome. I might actually make it into like a sports dome, maybe like a gym, something like that. And we're going to select this one, deselect this one, and then we're going to hit extrude again. And we'll just go with the same setting. So there we go. We've now basically got a nice little shape where if we go ahead and change the colour to a black, and then drag a material on using the material which is up here, material editor, just drag a random one on because they haven't got anything on. They're just a normal grey material. Going to press T, and we're going to add ourselves the light. So it's lights, standard, skylights. Click anywhere in the middle, it doesn't have to be exact. Press F, W, and okay, that's weird. I don't know why it's not. Okay, so for some reason that's bugged off down there, but the light is still in the right place. So if we then let it render now, we can kind of see that we have the outside detail, nicely done, and we also have the sticking out the front part. So we're going to want to be adding a wall. Going to be wanting to work out what we're going to put inside. Maybe make this. We're going to make this dome a lot bigger. What we might even think about is connecting multiple domes up, so they kind of look like hangers, but they're not. Then we might even think about adding a building out the front as well. So this video has been going on for quite a while now. It's been a whole 17 minutes. But what I've done is I've kind of started off with the new task. So we're going through adding a few new things. What I would like you to do is kind of suggest things. What specifically with modelling would you like to see? We are going to be working on this building in particular, this kind of topic, this kind of task, whereby we can make a building that could be used as a hangar, it could be used as a sports dome, it could be used as a science facility, it could be used as absolutely anything for any game. Work on it, add as many different things as we can think that would be useful, and see where we can get with that. Add a few bits of detail to it and what have you as well. So as I say, in this episode it was going to be on detail, but decided that we can kind of get a bit more out of it if we work a bit more on the whole look. If we get rid of that. What's it? Go unshaded. And we'll work on different things. So I will be adding, showing you how we can copy this, connect it up, things like that. So we'll be getting rid of this whole face, connecting it up to another one, but we need to finish this one first. There are different things that I'll be showing you how to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode again. Like I say, every time, leave some suggestions. I'll be sure to read them, answer them whenever I can. I'm also planning on starting a small little few videos every now and again where I kind of read comments, go through them, try and explain the best I can as a side part to any series, anything. Any of my series will all be connected to that. I'll also be talking about in those videos, so they'll be like kind of like a vlog style where I also talk about what's coming up in regards to modelling tutorials, coding tutorials, gameplay, you know, absolutely anything. That I'll just be talking about, working out what you guys can do and how you can do it, and when to expect certain things. So thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as I say, comment any ideas and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks guys, and I appreciate the support so far in the series.